Hello and welcome to an episode of Agri Art. Today we'll be covering a paper by Dr. Xin Yu, I hope I'm not mispronouncing it, from Kunming University in China. This paper does not describe a historical garden. Instead, it talks about and describes garden plans that the author is actually working on. Specifically, his work on the garden city. A garden city is a prominent feature of a city whose suburbs have towns and towns have forests. This environment would create an environment of leisure agriculture, akin to the pleasure gardens of old on a much larger scale. These can be utilized both for food and for ornamental purposes. One such instance of a garden city includes peach trees with rapeseed or mustard sown underneath. The ambition of the author is to create something like that in a place translated into English as Park Road. This paper lays out his goals, ideals, and how it's to be implemented within his design. I'll go through his work and link the paper in the description below, before concluding by talking about my opinion on his ideas. Yes, this will be a very unorthodox video. Let's get started. Here's his conception of what a garden should look like. In order to create the garden plan he designed, he looked into the deep roots of various Chinese cultures, as well as various forms of Chinese architecture, classical architecture, and the relationship between both within the natural environment. The writer also borrowed heavily from both Buddhist aesthetics as well as Taoism. Another conceptual framework he was working on is trying to incorporate socialist philosophy into the garden, specifically socialist morals, modern socialist material, civilization, and spirit. To that end, he was searching for crops that have both ornamental and practical ends. As such, he's been looking extensively into fruit trees and vegetables with ornamental properties. He's also seeking to create a socialist version of gardening. In one of my previous videos on this topic, it was mentioned that there was work on merging formalism and naturalism in terms of gardening techniques together to create different landscape designs. The author of this paper seems to be going in a similar direction as well, using different waterworks and artificial ponds to add to the aesthetics of the landscape, relying heavily on Taoist and Buddhist symbolism. Indeed, the landscape seems to be modeled off of different paintings related to farmers eating within the heavenly plain. Each species selected is also selected for their spring, summer, and autumn and winter aesthetics, actively seeking out plants that provide year-round appeal. Other aspects of this garden seem to be surrounding the aesthetic recreation of an idealized form of a farm for ornamental purposes, as a means of teaching children where their food comes from within the realm of a city. Likewise, this researcher seeks to request the use of the massive amounts of breeding and technological efforts in order to help create varieties of plants that are suited to both this aesthetic garden and the practical farm agricultural production systems. Now on to my thoughts on this project. We'll start off with the bad and end with the good. We'll start with the elephant in the room. The command economy aspects inherent to socialism, as in Marx, Hegel, Gramsci, etc., is not a system of morals that I think could be emulated in practical terms, and probably shouldn't be either. I say that because I'm not a collectivist, but this is just the opinion piece part of it. From a aesthetic background, socialist-style building tends to be more on the brutalism side of things, and I'm not a big fan of that sort of system of building. On a more positive note, and this is where the real good stuff comes in, I do love the idea of using fruit trees in ornamental systems. For the majority of human history, fruit trees were just as much an ornamental as they were a practical foodstuff. Pears, plums, peaches, and apples especially. Such a move towards returning to that type of tradition will be something worth starting, I think. Likewise, Taoist architecture, alongside Buddhist architecture, in combination with the merger of formalism and naturalism, has the potential of creating beautiful art pieces that are living in nature. It also means that the Chinese people may be going to a movement where they seek beyond what the post-Hegelian philosophies can offer. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you really enjoyed it and think you can donate, you can do so at Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description below. Thank you for watching.